Page 3 begins with question 18, asking which of the following forms, types of bonds where valence electrons are transferred. So that means you have to have a metal and a non-metal that has a positive charge and a negative charge in order for there to be a transfer of electrons from the metal that's positive to the non-metal receiving those electrons for an ionic compound. So it would be potassium chloride. Question 19, which is ionic compound, which are covalent, and which can be considered both. Letter A is covalent, two nonmetals. Letter B is covalent, two nonmetals. Letter C has calcium acting as a metal and a polyatomic ion sulfite acting as a nonmetal. And that is considered to be an ionic compound. But then when you look at the SO3 part, that polyatomic ion part acts as a covalent molecule that bonds then to the calcium. So that is considered both an ionic and covalent compound. Then carbon dioxide is just two nonmetals, so it's a covalent molecule. Question 20. Since you have the element chromium and the polyatomic ion acetate, chromium is inside the transition metal section and needs a Roman numeral in the name. So the name of it would be chromium Roman numeral 3 acetate. Total number of atoms in the compound. Any subscripts outside the parentheses will multiply times the subscripts inside the parentheses. So there are 3 nitrogens, 12 hydrogens, 1 phosphorus, and 4 oxygens. The group that does not bond to anything else basically is the noble gases, the last column, because they satisfy the octet rule with 8 valence electrons already in the outer orbital, with the exception of helium. Helium is stable with 2. 23, which of the following is a covalent compound? So you're looking for the ones that have 2 nonmetals. That would be A. SO2 is a covalent compound. Name of it would be sulfur dioxide. The other 3 compounds are ionic compounds. 24, drawing the Lewis dot structure, and draw this for calcium fluoride would require you to draw 1 calcium with 2 valence electrons, and then 2 fluorines with 7 valence electrons as dots around it, and then allow the calcium to transfer one of its electrons to one of the fluorines to fill up fluorine's outer orbital with 8 and give it a -1 charge. And then the other electron from calcium would transfer to the other fluorine to give fluorine a -1 ion charge and calcium as a +2 because calcium gave up 2 electrons. 25, state the law of conservation of mass, that during a chemical reaction nothing's created nor destroyed. 26, what are the diatomic molecules? Those are the 5 elements that are always read on my periodic table, which are hydrogen, H2, nitrogen is N2, oxygen is O2, fluorine is F2, chlorine is Cl2, and sometimes bromine and iodine. If it says they are a gas specifically in the reaction, then they would be diatomic also. How many oxygens? So you've got to multiply the 4 times 3 for 12 oxygens. 28, which side of the chemical reactions are products and reactants? The reactants are on the left side, and the arrow points to the right to the products. Balance the following reactions. So looking at those balanced reactions are on the next page.